How about them Cowboys, Josh?
Yeah. Woo! How about those Cowboys indeed? Getting that win against Seattle.
Yeah.
Now here we are in the divisional round against the Los Angeles Rams, heading out to L.A. And joining us as our special guest to break this game down is none other than Darreck, DDP from the Dallas Prospect. Welcome, Darreck.
Hey man, what's up? Not a whole lot. Just I'm still riding the high of that Cowboys win, beating Seattle like that. I saw that you guys predicted it. I had that as well. I even almost had the score. I was within like just a couple points due to the kicker situation.
Oh yeah.
Oh yeah, it feels good, man. It feels good that we proved everybody wrong.
Mm-hmm.
All the experts. You know what? Going into this week, we had to get you on here, Darreck, man. We had to. Because me and you, we were right on the season prediction record. So we got to see if we're going to be right in the divisional round.
You know what really impressed me out of that Seattle game, guys? Dak Prescott. I thought he was very impressive. I think he's been really impressive as of late.
Yes.
You know, going to late in the season, he's just been incredible.
Yeah. Making plays.
Absolutely. And that was one of the things I wrote about Monday, I guess yesterday. Talking about that and how if you watch the game and you just look at it from like traditional quarterback play, you're kind of left with the feeling that Russell Wilson kind of outplayed Dak a little bit just because he was dropping just dimes along the sideline, hitting Doug Baldwin and Tyler Lockett, guys like that. But if you look at the stats, I mean, they were pretty much almost exact, and really 75 yards and a touchdown for Wilson come on that last drive when it was already a 2-score game. So, I mean, really impressive from Dak to be able to go toe-to-toe with a quote-unquote elite. I mean, Wilson is. I'm not trying to undermine Wilson. I just mean that Dak gets so much shade, but he went toe-to-toe with a guy of that stature and still doesn't necessarily get the credit for it.
Right. Oh, yeah. Most of that game, we were streaming for that game. I was looking at the stats. I was like, Dak is outplaying Russell Wilson right now. Now, of course, late in the game when Dallas trying to get up the clock, they take the foot off the pedal a little bit, and Russell Wilson has to throw the ball because they don't have a kicker at that point, right?
Yep.
So, he has to make some plays. So
now, you guys here in the divisional round, you guys are going up against an entirely different kind of beast. You're going up against the Los Angeles Rams on the road.
We're going home. What are you talking about?
Well,
that's true, right?
I guess you're right about that. I mean, the Cowboys. Yeah,
we're going to our summer vacation, man.
Yeah,
that's true. Like there might be more Cowboys fans out there in LA than Rams fans.
Maybe, man. That's why we have our training camp out in Cali, man.
But nonetheless, I mean, the Rams are 7-1 at home throughout the regular season, so they're pretty good there. They have the second overall offense as far as yards and points scored. So you guys are going up against a high-scoring offense. Good thing you guys have a pretty damn good defense. So, Darreck, I'll kick it off to you first. What are you seeing in this game, and then who you got?
Well, as I was saying earlier before we started recording, of the matchups we could have had between the Rams and the Saints right now, I would prefer the Rams because with the Saints, I think they're extra motivated to face us now after the Thursday night game. And as we mentioned with the kind of home field advantage situation for the Rams, I wouldn't be surprised if that crowd is close to 50-50. Like, really, I think it's going to be that drastic. At least 40% Cowboy fans there just because of all the years going to Oxnard every training camp has just kind of instilled that culture and everything and fandom for the Cowboys. So it's going to be a tough matchup for sure. As you mentioned, the Rams are the second best offense in the league. They are crazy elite. And Dallas, they've got a very, very good defense, a top 5 defense. So it'll be a good contest there. It's just going to depend on if the defense can kind of uphold its end of the bargain to allow the offense to win a game where it scores something like 19 to 25 points, because that's about what the offense does for Dallas.
Right.
Yeah.
Sean, I want to know now the Rams. They've been kind of on rest mode here for weeks now. Ever since we kind of demolished them, the Chicago Bears, they've been resting their players. Todd Gurley, he's been sitting out a lot. So is that going to have any effect in this game? Could that rest hurt them?
Oh, it could. We see it all the time, man. When you could practice all you want, but game speed is totally different when you're playing, especially a top defense. And Todd Gurley is the key here, right? Todd Gurley's one has been out for these past 3 weeks, I think it is. And plus they had a bye week. It's you're looking at this and it's like, how can he be ready for this when you have a defense that's going to hit you? You have a defense that's going to be flying at you. You can't simulate that in practice, especially when you're not going to take hits in practice like that. So I think that can play a big factor, resting and not seeing action for that long.
What do you think, Darreck? You gonna come out looking sluggish, the Rams?
I think it's going to have an impact. There's always a discussion between rest and rust, and usually if you've had that long of a layoff, there's going to be some form of rust. He will be fresh, but it's a different element having to add in that kind of physicality to it. And this Cowboys run D is legit. I mean, it's the best aspect of their defense. If you look at the Seattle Seahawks coming into that game, they were the number 1 rushing offense. They had the 5th leading rusher in Carson. Dallas held Carson to 20 yards on 13 carries, and the high yardage man for Seattle in that game was Penny with, I think, 29, and he got 26 of those on 1 rip. So 30 carries, and they were held to like 3.2 yards a carry or something like that. So Dallas is legit when it comes to run defense. They're going to have to be legit, though, against Gurley, because that's, for Dallas, that's about as comparable, or even maybe, depending on how you look at it, slightly better than Zeke that you could face in this league.
Okay. Yeah, and stopping Todd Gurley is going to be the key here, because last time we played LA, we played them last year in early 2017, and they beat us by 5 points. Gurley destroyed us. Now, obviously, it's a different defense, but Gurley went off for over 120 yards rushing. He had like 121 yards rushing, 94 yards receiving, over 200 yards total offense. We can't do that. We can't do that. If Gurley gets going like that, we don't have a chance. But yeah, the biggest thing here is shutting down Gurley.
What about Dallas pass rush and going up against their offensive line and making it a long day for Jared Goff? You guys see that happening at all?
I think there's a really good chance of it. Dallas has a really good pass rush. DeMarcus Lawrence, I know his sack numbers aren't exploding off the page lately, but that dude, I mean, Dallas needs to pay him pretty much whatever he wants, because not only is he one of the best pass rushers in the league, but I mean his run stopping ability is fantastic. There were several plays in the wild card matchup where it was just incredible plays he was able to make, and you're not going to see a lot of guys that can do both aspects of that. So if Dallas can get after them, if they can make Goff, you don't even have to get home every time, because they've had games like, if you look at the New Orleans game earlier this year, they didn't get to Drew Brees but 1 time in the game. They just stayed around him and made him uncomfortable. And if they can do that, then they can change a lot in this game. And I do think this is going to be a game for the Rams where they feel the absence of Kupp.
Okay.
Oh, yeah, and that's, the funny thing is only time our defense has ever really given up a lot of rushing yards or given up big plays, DeMarcus Lawrence and all them, is usually with running quarterbacks. And we saw Russell Wilson make some plays against us, but you don't have to worry about that with Goff. Goff is not one of those guys that's going to make a play. There's no read option. And if they know you're going to hand off the ball, they're going to get the running back. There's no problem in that. So and we saw the Bears do that. We saw the Bears just getting pressure on Goff, and it was a long, long day for him.
Yeah, and y'all's Cowboys defense is very similar to ours in a lot of ways.
We just need more turnovers like y'all.
Yeah, I was going to say that's definitely the big difference, is the Bears can create a lot of interceptions, and Dallas has not been a ball hawk team at all this year.
No.
LVE is, if not the leader, he's like second on the team with just 2 picks.
Yeah, need more.
Yep.
Need a lot more.
Well, probably because, see, the Rams, they are 7-point favorites here at home. 7-point favorites against y'all's defense. So they're saying that the Rams are going to be able to get up on you guys, and they're going to be scoring a lot of damn points. So on the offensive side of things for the Dallas Cowboys, how can you guys match that offense they got if it gets really going? Can Dak, Zeke go toe-to-toe with them? Can they come back on them if they have to?
If it turns into a shootout, I don't feel good about Dallas's chances. I would say Dallas is capable of getting into the low 30s, but if it goes beyond that, then it's just going to outpace what they're really capable of doing offensively. But some elements that are going to help is the fact that we mentioned this earlier. I think the Rams have given up 5.1 yards per carry this season. That's going to be huge for Zeke, who on his own right has averaged, I think, 4.8. So huge to give the leading rusher that kind of advantage there. And if Zeke is running, then that's going to open things up for everyone else. Amari Cooper had 100 yards last week as well with that, because it opened things up a little bit. You keep them on their heels and you make it where you're able to hit your big playmaker in that case. Cooper ripped off 60 yards in the fourth quarter alone of that in Dallas after going into the fourth quarter trailing 17-14. Pretty much had 3 straight scoring drives. I know Dak has the pick in the end zone on that, but they get down inside the 10-yard line again, and it was just methodical at that point. Dallas likes to do the rope-a-dope, and if they turn into a shootout, that's not playing their style.
Yeah, and yeah, that's pretty much exactly what I was going to say, man. If we get in a shootout, well, there's no chance. Like, let's get real here. We're not that type of offense. But we say it every video we talk about these kind of games, these type of offenses, how do you beat them? You have to run the ball and keep them off the field. That's what we did to New Orleans Saints, who were the number 1 offense at that time when we played them. I think they still are. And I'm looking at this, and I look at Rams defense. They're 23rd against the rush. And you said, 5 point yards per carry, 5.1. Dude, they're not going to be on the field enough to be able to put up those big numbers. I feel like this point spread is disrespectful to our defense and the simple fact that we have Zeke. I don't understand it.
Well, one thing to note just real quick to add on that, a big difference between them being, the Rams are the second best offense and the Saints are the first. The difference in that was that the Saints have a damn good run defense. They were able to make Zeke have to work, like really work for it, and that was part of why Dallas wasn't able to put up many points and keep a lot of drives moving, is because they more or less, they didn't neutralize him, but they definitely contained him for the most part. Yeah. But if you're the Rams and you're giving up 5 yards a carry, that's not going to be you're not going to be possible for that. So
not at all. And even their pass defense isn't that great. They're 14th. Now, that is little skewed because Keith Lee was out for most of the year. So you got to take that into consideration.
Yeah.
And Marcus Peters, he will give up some big plays, but then he'll make these miraculous pick sixes out of nowhere. So you got to, we can't take too many chances, but there's going to be opportunities in the passing game also there for Dak.
Yeah, they got 18 interceptions throughout the season. I mean, they're third in takeaways total. And I want to know what you guys got an answer for. Aaron Donald, Dominican Sue. You got your offensive line, man. I don't know if they can contain Donald.
Yeah, that's
going to be a rough one.
That's my biggest concern.
What do you see in that, Darreck?
So the last 2 years, the offensive line has been a weakness for the Cowboys. Last year, it was really understated. It was something that we talked about in the preview for this season. This year, it's been largely inconsistent. Dak got sacked 56 times. There was a great stat out there by Pro Football Focus. It basically measured the most sacked quarterbacks on quarterback force sacks, which I know is like a really wordy way of saying that, but sacks quarterbacks took where they were responsible for it as opposed to the offensive line. Dak had 14 of those, which is, it's too many. That is something he needs to improve on. But even if you take away those 14 sacks, he still got sacked 40-plus times, which shows that the offensive line, even without Dak's mistakes, is still like in the bottom 5-6 teams roughly in terms of total sacks. So that is going to be a concern. But they were much better against the Seahawks last week. Dak got sacked one time in the game, and I mean, Jaron Reed is a beast for them, for the Seahawks, and they were able to keep him in front and keep him kind of contained. Now, he did a couple times kind of blow up Connor Williams, push him back, but he never really was able to get to Dak or have the kind of impact that they really needed from him if they were going to control the line. So Dallas's offensive line is just going to have to manage to keep that up, and it is a taller task. So we'll see. But Xavier Su'a-Filo is coming back, so that's going to at least give them a little bit more power and stout in that position there.
Yeah, that was my biggest concern. After we found out the Cowboys were playing Rams, I looked at Josh and I said, Aaron Donald up the middle. He needs Su'a-Filo back because Connor Williams, that's his biggest weakness. He's not a big guy.
And I think Aaron Donald's pissed off right now. I imagine he is pissed because, a lot of people have been giving him shit, because he didn't really do much against my Chicago Bears. He didn't really do much against the Philadelphia Eagles. People are like, oh, where's Aaron Donald at? He might show up in this game, and he might have himself a day.
Yeah, well, that's why you got to run to the outside, and Dak has got to learn when to escape the pocket and when not to. I've seen so many times where he tries to get outside of the pocket or run it when he has a good pocket in front of him, and then vice versa when the pocket's collapsing, he just sits there. He can make plays with his legs. We saw that last week for that third and 14 or 17 and deep in the red zone. And he went in and almost scored. Like, he can run and break tackles. So I want to see, hopefully he can, he's been playing better and not taking too many sacks as of late. but I want to see that consistently against the Rams, who do have Ndamukong Suh and Aaron Donald, who are big old boys.
Yep. I think that Giants game in the finale really, as weird as it was to play your quarterback the full time, knowing it wasn't going to change seeding at all, I do think that it was an ultimate confidence builder for him. He went something like 30, I can't remember his exact stat line. It's been a couple weeks now, but he had a really strong stat line, 4 touchdowns, career high 4 touchdowns, no turnovers. And of course, he gets the amazing throw to Cole Beasley in the back of the end zone, plus the 2-point conversion to walk off with the win effectively. So I just think he's riding high on confidence. So let's see if he can keep that rolling a little bit longer.
Yeah, that was a big thing that I told Josh. I was like, confidence with no 2 of our best offense linemen and no Zeke. Yeah, that was a big time game for him.
All right, Darreck, any last thoughts? And who do you have winning this game ultimately?
Let's see here. So the Cowboys, we mentioned the Rams being the number 2 offense in the league. This was a tweet earlier from NFL Research, at NFL Research. Cowboys defense against top 5 scoring offenses this year with at least 2 games played. 16.5 points per game allowed. That's first. 273 total yards allowed. That's first. 151.5 yards per game allowed. That's pass versus rush. First, and 4.75 yards per play first. So, again, it's a small sample size being, I think they only had 2 such games. But, and of course, the Saints one helped that. But they've gone against these explosive offenses. They're designed, as long as they can win the battle along the offensive line and run the ball, they are built to beat teams like this, teams that want to put up a lot of points and win in shootouts. That's what they did against the Saints, and the fact that they could just control the clock, and then the defense just pretty much punched them in the mouth and never really let them get ahead of the chains. It took the Saints forever to actually get into Dallas territory on that game. So my gut tells me this feels like a toss-up to me. I'm going to still go ahead and ride it out and say Dallas escapes with a win here. I'm going to say Dallas 23-21.
23-21, Dallas. All right, Sean, what do you see? Who you got?
God. I will say this. If we cannot stop Aaron Donald, it's going to be a long day for us, and I think that's where it all boils down to. That's what scares me. If we can't stop him, we're not going to win this game.
Yeah.
If we can slow him down enough and we can make plays and Sky Linehan calls the right kind of plays, game plan, to avoid him, we win this game. And it's going to be 17-10 game.
Okay.
17-10?
Yeah.
Okay. That's going to be a tough one. Dallas is 9-0 whenever reaching 20. So if they don't reach 20, they've only got, I think, 1 win on the year, that being the Saints game.
I know. That's why I feel like we're going to stop them enough. I think we're going to stop them enough and just run the ball.
All right. So,
Josh, now, the 2 Cowboy fans have spoken.
I was pretty confident that I was going to go with the Dallas Cowboys before recording this game.
Wait, what are you
I
saying?
think you guys could go in there into LA, especially like Darreck said, it's probably going to be a 50-50 split in the audience there with Rams fans and Cowboys fans. I think you guys could go in there and win, and I wouldn't be shocked at all. But I'm a little worried now that a lot of vid makers and people are talking about the Cowboys winning this game. So, and I feel like the Rams are getting a little bit disrespected themselves here.
What are you about to say here, Josh?
I think I'm going to be the odd man out here. I think I'm going to go with the Los Angeles Rams. I'm going to change what I was going to originally do before recording this video. I'm actually going to go with the Rams. The Rams last year, they lost. They lost to the Atlanta Falcons at home.
Yeah.
They were a young team, similar to the Chicago Bears. What we did just this year, they were a young team, and they lost at home to a veteran team that just the year before were in the Super Bowl. So here they are back at home. They're going up against the Dallas Cowboys. I think they've grown from then. They have the second best offense in the league. I think they got something to prove, and I think they're going to win. I'm gonna go with the Rams. It's like you said, it was kind of a toss up here. I'll go with the Rams. I'll go with the Rams.
I mean, there is a little something to that. The Cowboys have not escaped the divisional round since they last won a Super Bowl. So there is some weird hoodoo there.
Playoff games in
this was our 3rd playoff win. Goff still doesn't have a playoff win. Again, just the 1 game last year, right? Or did they? Am I correct on that?
Goff didn't make Goff's only playoff game was last year.
Yeah, and I was at home against the Falcons.
Yeah, and they got beat in that game. And
Josh.
now
Sorry, buddy.
Bye.
Don't touch me.
Sorry, Darreck. Look, I'll be happy for Dallas Cowboys. I'll be happy for Sean. You guys win. I think you absolutely could win. It's a toss-up. But I'm going to go with the Rams. It bothers me how everybody's going with the Cowboys, even though they are 7-point underdogs. And you look on ESPN, we were just looking on ESPN, 78% of people are picking the Cowboys.
No, 78% are picking the Rams.
Picking the Rams. Yeah. Sorry. Yeah, picking the Rams. I'm going to go with the Rams.
Undercutting his own argument.
I'm going with the Rams. But the vid makers and stuff like that, talking with them, they feel like they're going with the Cowboys. And that bothers me a little bit.
I fucking hate you, Josh.
I'm going with the Rams. I'll be the odd
it's certainly possible, yeah. Like I said, it's a toss-up for me, so I'm not going to be upset either way. The one thing I would say with Cowboy fans, we were 3-5 to win the NFC East and then win a playoff game for just, as we said, the third time since 1995 or 6. Like, it's okay to be a little bit happy with things, not satisfied, but at least enjoy it. Don't be so negative about it like some of the Cowboy fans have been, where they're still trying to pick apart the flaws in the team that they don't like.
Right. I was just watching your rant video talking about just that.
Yeah.
I was a little hotter about it then.
Yeah. Oh, yeah. Literally engulfed in flames.
Yes.
In that video.
Yeah. But I needed a good visual.
Where can everybody find you at, man?
You can check out my channel, The Dallas Prospect. Mm-hmm. You can also go to thedallasprospect.com. I also write for DallasSportsFanatic.com. And my writing for Cowboys and Mavericks sometimes will get picked up by Bleacher Report. So my article that I referenced earlier that I wrote Monday is on Bleacher Report right now. Mm-hmm. Prescott's not perfect, but he's proven himself more than capable is the title of that article. So check that out and sub the page.
Yeah, absolutely. And I really enjoy not just your coverage of the Dallas Cowboys, but Dallas Mavericks, man, especially with the run they've been on. So you guys, you're a Dallas fan, a fan of Dallas sports, Cowboys, Mavericks especially. You definitely want to go and follow Darreck of the Dallas Prospect. Yeah. The links will be in the description box down below. Darreck, thank you so much for joining us, man.
Appreciate it, buddy.
Sorry I had to go against the grain here in this video and pick the Rams and be the odd man out.
I mean, it's all right. You had the Cowboys going like 6-10, and we got you on that one too. So I'll be waiting for the apology after they win on Saturday.
Well, I'll expect another group text.
Yes.
Right. But hey, Rams fans, Cowboys fans, it's good. It should be a good game. We're gonna be streaming for that, so come hang out with us during that game, and good luck. Good luck, everybody. Good luck.
Fuck you, Josh.
All right, we'll see y'all. We'll see y'all Sunday.
Later.
No, Saturday, right?
Saturday night.
Saturday night. We'll see you Saturday night.